Yo, what's up? We are now sitting in the Tesla Model 3 Highland, and we are heading from towards Bangkok rather. Yeah, we are right now in I think it's in the Kampang Phet area. For you guys who know where it is. But I'm actually doing a Sunday drive right now. So yeah, I did a Sunday drive with a Highland in 15th of it was September, so it wasn't the best temperature, and some people were complaining that, oh, you should have tested it earlier. Well, I just didn't have the chance to test it this summer. Well, guess what? It is 31 degrees Celsius over here, no problemo. But we'll see the result of it later. It is simply amazing. Yeah, Elon Musk for president. But today is not about Elon Musk or Tesla. It's about electric buses in Norway. So I wanted to make this video actually a while ago, and just I couldn't find time to do it. It's just been busy with family, and I guess we are still on some kind of vacation. So that's why I figured, well, I'm just driving now like an old man over here, so maybe I can just make a 4K podcast instead. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what is the whole thing about here? Well, it's about those electric trucks in Oslo, specifically in Oslo, that keeps failing or having problems. Actually, it was last winter, and I was still interested in the topic, so I wanted to make a video, referring to last winter. And then, while I was in Thailand, I read in the news that they are having the exact same problems this winter. Supposedly some headlines were that the passengers in the bus, they were asked to go out and help push the bus because it was stuck. Like, holy macaroni. Well, let me just have another fresh coconut. Okay, and enjoy 31 degrees Celsius. Okay, 31 is too hot. I prefer 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. But so I talked to some friends about this. Okay, lots of stuff is has been on the news, right? So, like, why did the buses fail? Why did they have problems? Why? It might not be obvious on that article, but actually, if you read several articles, there is some useful information. But I also heard from my friends that some information is not that obvious or easily available. So when they told me, I was like, well, that makes sense, yeah. So, okay, the first problem is that many of the buses that, Oslo, don't remember the company that runs it. Maybe it's a good thing, so I don't make anyone look bad. But those buses, I think they were from a Chinese brand. I wonder if it was BYD. No, they're actually a mix of BYD and VDL, from what I remember. Yeah, I need to enclose some details, otherwise it's gonna be like, oh, but Bjørn, I like your videos, but it's not, it's too vague, it's not detailed enough. Okay. I have to check if I need ND filter. I think I need ND filter because we have tint on the front windscreen. It's equivalent to 40%. Yeah, sorry for a little detour here, but interrupting myself. But because we have tint on all the windows, then I need less ND filtering when I shoot video. But it's fully legal to have tint on all the windows here. Yeah, Thailand is a bit crazy. Maybe also more dangerous than Europe, but I feel like lately Europe has been too damn strict about everything, to the point where it becomes naggy, like a speed limiter or the autopilot restrictions. Well, I also heard that Mercedes, they were allowed now to use I think it was level 4 autopilot or autonomous driving, and also the speed limit was initially 60 kilometers per hour on the autobahn. I was like, holy shit balls! You can go langsom on the autobahn. Now they can hammer at whopping 95 kilometers per hour. I would probably drive myself instead of slow poking and the freaking Mercedes at 95. But okay, that's a different story. Also, another fun fact is that here in Thailand, I time it now. the autopilot doesn't nag me after every 10 seconds. It nags me after around 50 seconds. That is heaven, man. Like on these roads, do I need to hold the steering wheel every 10 seconds? No. So, yeah, but okay, back to the whole thing. So those buses that were, ordered from VDL or the BYD, I'm not sure which one it was, but they came with shitty tires, shitty winter tires. Yeah, shitty winter tires. And I don't know, but they didn't change tires, so they just used the tires that came with it. I guess maybe it's a cost, a matter of cost. If they had to, replace all of them, that would be expensive, and then who's going to pay for it? Well, the customers, of course. So that's one of the reasons why they get stuck all over the place. So we all know that tires are very important, but also from a very reliable source, good friend, is that the drivers, the bus drivers, like, I don't know all of them, but very many of them, they don't know how to put on snow chains in those situations. So they get stuck, and then they're like, fuck, what do we do then? Well, ask the passenger to help push, or something, instead of trying to solve the problem or actually avoid getting stuck in the first place. But it might not be that easy. I'll come back to that. So it's not just one reason why stuff fails, right, with the buses. And then I heard also that many buses, they run out of juice. People will be like, lol, I told you that EVs are not the future and that they fail. You're not supposed to use EVs for winter. And, well, it works great as long as you use it correctly. They call it the 30 cm error. Yeah, it's 30 centimeter away from the screen or maybe the steering wheel. That's where the error is. But okay, so why did they run out of juice then? Well, because the buses, they are supposed to charge up in the evening, and then in the morning they've been scheduled to preheat. And well, the problem is that once the charging finishes, it's supposed to hold the connection, or the handshake, or it's supposed to still persist on that session or something, right? But certain charging hardware manufacturers will release it. I don't know how to explain it to you. Which means that in the morning, once preheating starts, then it doesn't handshake anymore. So it preheats without land power, or you know what I mean? It preheats taking power from the battery. And that might not sound like a big deal if you preheat the passenger car, right? You just lose a couple of percent. But try to preheat a freaking bus. Just I haven't done the math, but a bus has so much volume in there that needs to heat up. But heating up the air is not it doesn't create. I mean, it doesn't suck that much energy. But you cannot just heat up the air. You have to heat up the interior. So initially you heat up the air around there, and then the air releases the energy, the heat energy, over to the seat and whatever, right, environment. And then that's how it goes. I don't know how long they preheat. I would assume maybe at least 1 hour. And that could actually suck a lot, just based on what I know from passenger cars. Usually What the heck? What the heck was that? Just started playing music randomly. I didn't start with music. That was weird. Sorry. I'm still recovering from the man flu. But I know from a passenger car, which has way less volume, that initially it will, just for the ramp up, it will suck maybe or pull around 6 kilowatt. And then once it's just heating up, then it depends how the temperature and all that, and the heat pump, but then it could suck something like 1 kilowatt. But then once everything has been equalized, it has reached equilibrium, and it only needs to maintain the heat, then it sucks maybe 500 watts. But it's that preheating process that sucks a lot. And then you can just multiply the volume in a passenger car with a bus, right? So I would assume that you could lose maybe 20-30% of the battery, because you pull, I don't know, wild guess, at least 20 kilowatt for a while, or maybe more, 20 to 40 kilowatt. You can't just blast the 2-3 kilowatt for heating up the bus. That's not gonna cut it. It's gonna take forever. Yeah. So as long as you have good, hey, what the heck, man? This happens all the time. I tried to disable the wiping in sexy button, but it still wipes. That's weird. And actually, autopilot was not even enabled now. You see? I can show you. Now autopilot is active. So wait, let me see. Maybe the problem is that the wiper was at, no, it's set to be off. Wait, maybe in the autopilot it's a different setting. No, it's set to be off. Both, yeah. I don't get this. I don't need to wipe in Thailand. It's so dry right now. Yeah, so as long as you have good charger hardware, then it will persist the connection, and then in the morning you pull extra power from the charger, and then you don't run out of juice during the day. So yeah. And then the last problem I heard, why did it get stuck? Because in Oslo they call it LED bus, articulated buses. Yeah. So and the thing is that the articulated buses that comes from the electric buses, they have different options. You can go for all-wheel drive. Well, actually, how many wheels do they have? But you can go for 2-axle drive, right? Roughly all-wheel drive. Or you can go for rear-wheel drive. And in Oslo, they went for rear-wheel drive. You'll be like, huh? Why? Why did they cheap out on it? Well, it wasn't a matter of cost for the buses. It was actually more of a problem with the drivers, because the drivers, they only had the regular bus certificate, D. Yeah. And you need, they didn't have DE. So, wait, well, I skipped one part, very important part here, which is that if the bus, whether it's electric, this is regardless of if it's electric or fossil, if the propulsion is only on the rear axle, then you can drive it with D. But if you have propulsion on both axles, rear and front, then it is counted as if it's a trailer or something weird like that, and then you need DE. And most bus drivers in Oslo, they only have D. And I assume, I haven't checked exactly this fact, but I assume that taking that DE will cost a lot. When I talked to my friend, he said that he went on some kind of trucking course to expand his driver's license. He has almost the whole alphabet, right? He was talking about 50 hours just to do something. I was like, 50 hours? Norway, that is freaking expensive. We might be talking about like, how much in euros? 5,000 to 10,000 euros, wild guess, just to expand it, right? So I don't know about the DE here, D versus DE, but so that's why the municipality of Oslo decided that we're gonna go for rear-wheel drive, and yeah, because we just use the, what the heck, man, just don't wipe, shit. We're just gonna use the existing D drivers, right? Or we don't wanna, yeah. And then what happens then? Well, they cheap out, they go for the easiest way without considering what's gonna happen. And then the cars, the buses get stuck. What about fossil buses? Don't they also get stuck? Well, the problem is that the electric buses, they are heavier. Something about that they get stuck easier than the fossil buses, even though both of them are rear-wheel drive, right? The articulated buses. So, yeah. So that's what I heard. The problem about the buses in in Oslo, and then before you guys say lol, you know, but the electric buses are toys, you know, real men, they drive diesel. Well, in Hammerfest, which is the Norway's northmost city, not town is then oh, what's it called again? Right now I don't remember, but before North Cape, you know, there's a little town, but that's not defined as city. That one is the northmost town. But Hammerfest, yeah, kind of funny, right? The name Hammerfest, yeah. Hammerfest, they use electric buses, and they have no problems. They have worse winters than in freaking Oslo. Oslo is just a walk in the park compared to Hammerfest, and they manage it just fine. Well, one difference is that they don't use articulated buses in Hammerfest. There are not that many Nisse living over there, so they are fine there. But I guess they use better charging equipment, so they avoid you know, preheating without land power, right? So, and I also heard that in Sweden they also use electric buses in winter, and they have no problems. So it's unfortunate because Oslo is like the capital of EV. You know, everything that happens in Oslo gets lots of attention, right? Or there's certain things. But when something negative happens, like someone fucked up, yeah, what the heck is that? Sending data to China. Huh? What the heck is that thing on the roof on the van there? But yeah, when the electric buses fail, then it becomes worldwide news. Yeah. But then nobody mentions that other places they are fine. And then of course in that article, I'm not sure if the cause of the problem has been explained. So I mean, what can we do? Well, unfortunately, we cannot change the weather. The weather might happen. The snow plows, they could maybe have better routine of clearing snow around city, right? But they have to look at the forecast and then clear the critical areas and make sure that buses, they're gonna get up there. Maybe change tires, yeah? Maybe force the drivers to know how to put on snow chains. And then when it comes to replacing the existing buses with all-wheel drive buses, that's way too expensive. Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think? What can be done? Yeah, like in the middle of the freaking motorway, there's a U-turn, and then that guy goes slow in the fast lane. Try to do that on the autobahn. Yeah. Oh shit. But yeah. Sorry. I think I need to stop now. I talk too much now. Still trying to recover. But yeah, at least I wanted to share with you guys what I heard about the whole, I don't know what we should call it, the bus scandal. No, wait, the electric bus scandal in Oslo. Wait, Busgate. Yeah. The Busgate. So. Well, I mean, it's easy for me to sit here on my high horse and criticize other people's work, right? Well, I just say I feel sorry for the guys who are in charge with this, but I'm just the messenger, so don't shoot the messenger, right? But yeah, maybe you guys can confirm or unconfirm my claims, and maybe supply some more information. So I just the reason I made a video last year about this, but that was before I talked to some of the other guys here, and I heard the real reason why it fell. Suddenly there's a freaking moped driving on the wrong direction. It happens all the time. They call it lakkai, yeah, which actually technically means love chicken. Eh? The fucks. Yeah, no, but actually the reason why I make this video is because I know that EVs kick ass, you know, and even buses and trucks, they are awesome, right? As long as we have charging network and whatever, right? As long as we have good tires and we don't, you know, drive recklessly or whatever, right? Charge in time, so on. And as long as we have good routines, yeah, then no problem. But then the whole bus scandal in Oslo makes the EVs and the buses look bad. So that's what I'm trying to kill, you know, the myth that it's not the bus's fault, it's the whole project that was maybe mismanaged. Just trying to make it sound not so harsh. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the nice Thai landscape. It's not that interesting over here. We are just on the main motorway, heading south now. It's sunset. It's actually 5 in the afternoon, and it's. Let me check the camera. Yeah, it's nice and colorful, unlike in Norway. Everything is just so dark in Norway. Like, I don't mind coming to Thailand every winter. The reason why I didn't come to Thailand last winter was because we just made possibly a big upgrade in our lives, which is the house. But then the house will live for decades. At least we will live there for decades until I get too old, right? So hopefully next winter I should also be back here. Yeah, because there's so many cars I want to test. Okay, D-PAL that I tested previously might not be that interesting, but I'm actually picking up a BYD Sea Lion 7 right now, tomorrow. And that one will come to Europe soon. And then I was negotiating dates or trying to nail a date on testing a Lotus Emeya. So fortunately Emeya, or actually fortunately many EVs that we get in Europe nowadays, they are also manufactured in China. And many cars that are manufactured in China, they get low prices in Thailand. China and Thailand, they seem to be good friends. There's probably some political stuff around it. Someone gets money, blah, 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 whatever, right? And they try to squeeze out European market cars. So, like, well, it's kind of sad that we don't have any MEB cars or, well, Stellantis cars. Well, that's not the big loss, is it? Okay, no, I didn't mean it. Yeah, okay. But at least, you know, MEB cars are pretty much non-existent here. No official importers. They will be way too expensive. A Volkswagen ID.7 would kick ass for the Lord here. It will cost something like 120,000 euros maybe for something like that, you know, 150,000. It will be way too expensive, and half of that are taxes. So instead, Thailand, they are just flooded, or they are more or less just stuck with many shitty Chinese cars. But I mean, not all of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater for Chinese cars. NIO, they are really good. Unfortunately, they don't exist here. XPeng, they are probably one of the best Chinese cars I know. They exist here. They have at least the G6. They haven't taken the P7 here or the G3. Well, don't even bother with the G3. But also the X9. Wonder if it's out yet. No, maybe it's not out, but it's coming. But at least what I heard is that the G6 they import here. They don't include the performance. Oh, that's another D-PAL. That's a sedan D-PAL. Just past us. But I guess this will be like a bus driver, the bus scandal plus some Thailand rant. I find it interesting what's going on in Thailand. Is that once again, yeah, the G6 over here is supposed to only rear-wheel drive. Yeah, they don't bother with the performance. It's too expensive, or at least over here, I mean, okay, you want the performance maybe for performance, but you don't want the performance for traction. But in Norway, Norwegians, they want overdrive because of extra traction for winter and so on, right? Even though I'm not sure if most Norwegian Nissan need all-wheel drive, as long as you have good tires and you use your head. Not your head between your legs, but the other head, then it should be fine. EVs, they have really good, or even rear-wheel drive EVs, they have good traction in winter because the way EVs work. Because they're not front heavy or okay, whatever. You know what I mean, right? So, yeah, but I mean, there are at least some nice EVs in Thailand. But one thing I feel like needs improvement is the charging network, and unfortunately, over here they don't have Kempower. Well, I think they're supposed to have like one Kempower site. I don't know, maybe it's a T. No, it's the T series or something. You know, the portable 40 kilowatt something, right? Well, that line delivery man, he's on a mission. Okay, I'm gonna overtake him now. I'm not sure what the heck he's doing, but don't want to try to kill him. Even though they seem like they want to kill themselves, those more crazy motorcycle drivers. But what was I talking about again? I kind of zoned out now. Okay, whatever. Chinese cars in general, there are plenty of them. And also the BYD Sea Lion I'm picking up tomorrow, Sea Lion 7. In Thailand, supposedly the only available battery variant is the 80 kilowatt hour. Or 80 something, I don't remember. So they don't get the 90 kilowatt hour that we get in Norway. And it goes like that, just like the Ioniq 5 I tested. So they have to shrink it down so it becomes affordable. Yeah. But I mean, people can afford Tesla, for example, for 2 million baht, or even more expensive cars. Like there was a BMW on the other side there, you know. So, but I guess the masses, they want cheap electric cars for around 600k baht, which is 20,000 euros. So that's why they need to shrink them down. But the D-Pal, by the way, it's a fun fact. The D-Pal I tested recently, supposedly every Thai who has reviewed it or even bought the car, they complain about the bad bouncy suspension. And like almost everyone replaces the suspension. Yeah. Fortunately, labor cost is low in Thailand, so they just replace the suspension. Problem solved. Wait, isn't that the Tesla behind me? Speaking of Tesla, yeah, a Tesla Model 3 pre-Highland. Yeah, you see, they cost around 2 million baht, which is 60,000 euros for long range. The standard range is cheaper. But yeah, I was gonna say the charging network in Thailand needs improvement, because I heard now, I got some insight when I talked to some Thai people at the meetups. I had some fan meetups, or they call it FC meetups. In Thailand, pretty much everywhere, they use Chinese hardware. Chinese charger hardware. And why is that? Because Western, you know, like Kempower or Elbilmek, they are too expensive because of import tax. The whole, I have to quickly explain to you what the heck is that import tax. Well, if you buy an EV, or whatever, if you buy a car, right, from let's say Korea or Japan, you get around 20 to 30% import tax. I don't remember how much it was. I wonder if Korea had 20% and then Japan had 30%. It seems like Thailand, they like Korea more than Japan, which is understandable. I'm just kidding. But if you buy a car or EV from China, there is 0% tax. But if you buy a car from the rest of the world, which is, for example, Germany, then there is 80% tax, plus some other shit's going on. Wait, can I take that lane? I think I can. Man, I know. Thai people, they are so damn slow getting out of intersections. It's just unbelievably slow. Yeah, and also, right in the middle of the motorway, there'll be stoplight here. Right? I'm gonna show you guys how damn slow these guys are. Do they use quarter throttle or some shit and then they accelerate on 6th gear? I don't know. And not only the trucks, but just the regular cars. They accelerate so slow. I had to drive slalom between them. But yeah, so because of the import tax, then stuff from Europe or America becomes twice as expensive as stuff from China. And I think this also applies to charger hardware, you know? So that's why when you see my road trip video or whatever, Bangkok to whatever, you know, those chargers that I encountered, they are either manufactured in China or maybe assembled in Thailand. But they don't use the good Western charger hardware, right? And then the other problem is that because there are not that many EVs yet, but I mean, it is growing fast, then they don't want to put or install too many. Wait, shit, how to? Now I get stuck behind all these mother truckers. Shit, man. So the typical site has only one charger with 2 plugs. Right? I need to get out of this. Can I just? It goes so slow, man. Holy crap! And then I have to try to ninja past these guys. Wait. Oh shit! I'm ruining the Sunday drive now. Okay, this is supposed to merge soon. This lane is supposed to disappear soon, so I have to watch out. Yeah, that's that weird thing in the sense data to China. What is that thing? Huh? Is it Google Maps or something? No. It has a disc on the roof. The heck is it? Maybe I can. Okay, maybe if some of my Thai friends watches this video, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, it's a spy unit for the king." I don't know. Don't say it's anything bad, but the king is awesome. But yeah, if you don't see me in a couple of weeks, it means that I've been taken by the police. The Thai police. Yeah, just kidding. Is that a Cyberster? Yeah, that was a Cyberster. Wow. No, come on. I just wanna cruise slow now. Let's go back to slow cruising. There. Yeah, so on each location there will be only one charger with 2 plugs. But you're thinking, yeah, but I mean that's still fine, right? Because most of the Chinese cars, they don't charge that fast. Well, that's true. Some of the shitty cars I tried, they take only 70 kilowatt, and if you have let's say something equivalent to an Alpitronic 300 kilowatt, then each car get 150 kilowatt. That's plenty, right? Well, first of all, they don't have 300 kilowatt chargers over here. They use the so-called 160 kilowatt chargers or the 120 kilowatt chargers. But in order to get 120 or 160 kilowatt, you need 800 volt because for some reason those plugs, they are limited to 200 amp. So if you plug in a Tesla or well, many other 400 volt cars that can take more than 200 amps, you get only around 75-80 kilowatt from that plug. Yeah, even if you're alone. And then there's some weird power distribution shit going on, like I experienced. That if you have a what was it again? It was Alexa. It was Alexa 150 kilowatt charger, and then an MG ZS-EV, the first gen with 44 kilowatt hour battery, was charging on it. And I saw on the screen the MG was taking only 37 kilowatts. I was like, plenty. I should get at least 100 kilowatts. Nope, I was getting 30 kilowatts. So, huh? So out of the 150 kilowatt claim, then we utilize only 65 kilowatt, right? And then those so-called 120 to 160 kilowatt chargers, most 400 volt cars, they can only take 80 kilowatt from them, right? So I mean, is 800 volt the future? Well, actually, it is an advantage in Thailand for now, but I believe that in not many years they will have more of these 500 amp chargers. It's like looking at Thailand is like looking at Norway 5 years ago, because in Norway before Ioniq became quite common, then I remember that I was even struggling to find 500 amp plugs. I wanted to find out if Kona could take 100 kilowatt, because the weird thing is the kind of sneaky advertisement from Hyundai is that This is exactly what I've been saying. And these guys, they just, well, get out of the way. Like, seriously, this is the way I have to drive, you know, just to get past all these Thai Nisse. Where I should be in this lane because I'm slow poking. And these guys, they have no lane discipline. It's even worse than Norwegians. Yeah, they would be hugging the right lane all day. They don't know what they are doing wrong, and they even anticipate, and they even slow down for you so you can undertake them on the left lane. You know, at least there is some system in the madness in Thailand. And I feel like, okay, the speed limit is getting close to. Oh yeah, I need to turn around the ND again, and also repump. But yeah, so hey, why is it wiping again, man? What the heck? So yeah, because I was saying that around 5 years ago, I think, ish, before HPC were that common in Norway or Europe, then we had we had a few 200 amp high power charger. I remember at Nygårdskrysset, it was 175 kilowatt ABB, and supposedly Kona, and what was it again? Yeah, at least Kona, I remember. It says in the advertisement on the spec sheet that it supports 100 kilowatt charging. Well, but I wanted to find out, can it take 100 kilowatt? Well, but then I learned that, well, that charge at Nygårdskrysset was only 200 amp limited. So I think I took an e-Niro all the way to Rødekro. But then I think I also learned that back then they only had 200 amp plugs also at Rødekro, but eventually they upgraded to 500 amp water-cooled, liquid-cooled cables. But like, you know, stuff like røverhistorie I'm talking about now. Oh shit, man, you have to watch out for those guys, yeah. That was around 5-6 years ago in Norway, and then Thailand is roughly there, here right now, right? Which means that the 800 volt advantage is not really going to be an advantage in a couple of years once Thailand develops and gets 500 amp cables. So maybe I'll just have to convince them to get some proper charging hardware in the first place rather than those semi-shitty Chinese stuff, because I'm not too impressed of how reliable they are. Yeah, that's a different story. I feel like I need to stop talking now. This thing was about buses anyway. So anyway, I think I'm gonna stop here. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.